Hi there everybody and welcome to another watch review from the Watch Channel. Today we're going to be looking at this watch, which is the PD1719, and it is a tribute to the Doxa Sub 300 model. Now, for those of you who aren't aware, Doxa were the first watch manufacturing company to bring out an orange dial watch. It had nothing to do with fashion. In fact, it had everything to do with usability. And orange, for whatever reason, underwater is the most legible colour for a diver to be able to record or see the time and their depth rating and so on and so forth. So there was a true functional reason why they used an orange dial. Now, this is probably why I think homages come into their own in these sorts of watches, and that is because this watch, if it were a Doxa, would be retailing for somewhere around about the 4,000 Australian mark, and this is 160 bucks. Now, yes, absolutely, there's a massive price difference, but you can only wear an orange dial watch in certain situations. It's not going to go with everything that you wear, either casual and certainly nothing from a business perspective. So, you know, dropping 4Gs on a watch that has limited, I suppose, opportunities to wear it is something that, you know, you've got to factor in. So like I say, for 160 bucks, it gives me that Doxa Sub look that I've wanted for quite some time, but without any of the expense. Anyway, we're going to turn the camera around and take a look at the watch. If you do like the content though, guys, please do consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. So let's go and take a look at this watch. Guys, as usual, let's start off with the dimensions of the watch. You're looking at 42.7 mils in diameter. You're looking at 45 mils top lug to bottom lug, 14 mils thickness, and then you also have those 20 mil end links. As you can see there, you've got a nice beads of rice bracelet, which then goes down to a double security folding clasp, and there's a milled clasp with Pagani engraving on it. So very, very nice overall. There's a little bit more wrist action for you here, guys. Again, my wrist is about 7¼ inches, so as you can see it fits pretty well on my wrist. I think that's mainly due to the fact that the case is actually curved and the relatively small lug-to-lug of 45 mils. Turning your attention to the case, you can see you have polished sides, but for all intents and purposes, everywhere else on the watch is brushed. That also includes the bezel. You can see the bezel has two parts, an outer ring and an inner ring. Essentially, the outer ring shows you the time and the inner ring meters. The purpose of the bezel is to show you essentially how many minutes and at what depth you can go without requiring any decompression. The bezel action on the watch is pretty good. There is a little bit of backplay, but nothing too serious. And I've put some footage up here so you can hear the bezel action. There's a little bit more footage for you here showing you that bezel. The teeth are cut really, really well, and the crown is finished very well, that engraving pretty sharp. Protecting that dial, you do have a sapphire crystal. It's a bubble or domed effect. Marketing materials say that it has anti-reflective coating on it. I have seen tinges of blue which would indicate it's there, but I think because of the bubble effect, well, you can see there's a little bit of reflection there. Some footage in macro for you of that dial. You can see obviously orange. You do have the applied indices and then those hands, all of which have that black enamel finish and then the lume on the inside. One thing you will notice though is the dial does not have a date function. So this particular watch is powered by Seiko's NH38, which does not have a date complication. So when you unscrew that crown, you just pull it out the once and you then set the time. There's no ghost date function or anything like that, which I think is pretty cool. One thing I would say though is the lume on the Pagani is not fantastic. Put some footage up for you to show you, but as you can see, it's not awful, but it's just not like the same as a steel die, for example. For me, the Doxa Sub 300 is an orange dial watch. That is the original and the best in my opinion. But that's not to say it's to everybody's taste. So if you do want something different, then there are other options out there, one of which is a nice blue dial, and then you also have a Tiffany dial colour. I've put them both up here for you to take a look at. Like I say, there are other options out there if orange isn't your thing. So there everybody, there you have it, the PD1719 Doxa Sub 300 homage from Pagani Design. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you do have questions though, comments, or want to ask me a question, please do put it in the comments section. Other than that guys, thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and I'll see you in a new one soon.